What is up, guys? Welcome to the Gold Star Podcast. Myself, C-Money, TCG, and the Bearded Trainer 2, bringing you our weekly podcast where we talk about all things Pokemon TCG related, collecting, market, all kinds of trends, what's news, what's going on. So all things Pokemon TCG related. We are officially a week out from the official release of Darkness Ablaze. Mr. Beard Trainer over there with his Charizard VMAX that everyone's been chasing for officially a week now. How many boxes have you opened up, Austin?
2 cases worth, so 12 boxes.
I am not quite that many in. I think I've opened up 3 total since the release, including my early one. So I've got a whole lot more left. I've got like 6 more boxes left to tear through on the channel. But you're getting real close to your master set, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm a couple of cards short, but I will say that Eternus VMAX chase card I have pulled. However, the Butterfree cards elude me. I still need the VMAX Butterfree and the Full Art Butterfree V.
That's really funny because those are like supposed to be the most common ones, and you've got the most rare.
Can't get them.
That's how it goes sometimes. But we hope you guys are all enjoying Darkness Ablaze. We both love it. However, that is not what today's episode is about. We've talked about Darkness Ablaze the last few weeks. We're going to dive into a little bit of Vivid Voltage today. We're going to dive into a potential leak of a 25th anniversary mini promo set potentially that we have found. And we're going to talk a little bit about CGC today, just the new grading company. We're going to dive into that fully. We've kind of touched on it here and there in the past, but we're going to dive into CGC a little bit because that seems to be a hot topic of discussion on the internet. So a variety of topics today to talk to you guys about. So we're really excited, but let's jump into it, shall we? We're going to jump over to the monitor real quick. New Elite Trainer Box Plus announced for Vivid Voltage, at least in Japan so far. This is on the Mini Pokemart Facebook page. Mini Pokemart, one of our favorite dealers around here that we all know and love and that you guys have met. This is the cover of a fat Pikachu Elite Trainer Box Plus. We can scroll through here, see the coolest sleeves I've ever seen in my entire life in an ETB. These sleeves are sick. With Leon and Charizard and stuff on them.
Really good artwork.
And we'll jump over here. This looks like some kind of like a card box or something inside of it potentially.
Could be a deck box of some sorts.
Again, the art is awesome, straight from the video game. Leon and his Charizard. I'm really surprised this wasn't for Champion's Path. Since Leon's the champion and the Charizard and everything, this looks very Champion's Path-ish. But we'll jump over here to Poke Beach. The first Elite Trainer Box Plus details. We now have preliminary details for the Elite Trainer Box Plus releasing alongside Vivid Voltage. It'll come with 12 booster packs instead of the usual 8. So keep in mind, like, our normal ETBs are 8 packs, and like special holiday sets like Hidden Face and Champion's Path have 10 packs. So this is an additional 2 from that. This is 12 booster packs. It will also include at least 1 promo card. We don't know how many for sure yet. It's being advertised as a super collection. The rest of the items inside match what normally comes in ETB, such as cards, sleeves, and dice. As posted before, it'll retail for around $60. We still don't know if it'll be unique to Vivid Voltage or if every set will have one from now on. A normal Elite Trainer box will still release around or for Vivid Voltage for $40. So basically, it also went on to say that we're getting an Ultra Premium collection as well, which is kind of weird. The Ultra Premium collection has 16 booster packs. Okay, that's kind of crazy. So lots to kind of unpack there and potential stuff. They're trying to step up their game with these products a little bit.
Yep.
So we'll have our normal ETBs, which I never have luck with ever. This is a step up from that. I'll be interested to see, like, so you're basically getting ETBs that are normally $40. Those are 8 packs. So you're getting 4 more packs for 20 more bucks, which is about what it, that's about right, I guess, with all the stuff going on.
That's about what you see, especially with all the other stuff you're getting in it.
The limited edition sleeves and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good deal, especially with what you're getting. And we get to look forward to finally getting the Gigantamax Pikachu with the OG look to it, which is I know it's got a lot of fans excited to see that OG looking Pikachu.
Yeah, it's very clearly a nod to the original art. Like whenever Sword and Shield got announced, the game, not any card sets, like they originally announced G-Max Pikachu, And that was the first thing everyone said about it, was like, this is a nod to the original Pikachu. Like, he was fat both in the video games and on the card. So it's very much a throwback kind of ode to it, which is very cool. Fan service a little bit. But new product there. There's not too much to talk about. The fact that there's an ultra premium collection with 16 booster packs is interesting.
That's pretty cool.
That's probably going to be about $100 if I had to guess. Because those usually come with some kind of like a figure or something like that. But 16 packs is massive for any kind of box. I don't think they've ever released something with that many in it, have they?
Yeah. No, I don't think they have. I think the closest we've gotten to something like that would be, I don't know,
the $100 box for Hidden Fates, or is that just 10 packs?
I think that was just 10 packs. So honestly,
even
I don't
with
think
the statue.
Yeah, I don't even think they've had any product that's had more than 10 packs in it. I'm trying to think. There was the Deoxys and Espeon like box, but I think those were only 8 packs, and those
were only,
So honestly, I think this might be the first one that breaks more than 10 packs.
So I mean, we're getting 12 in the ETB Plus and then 16 in this premium collection. So that's kind of cool. They're stepping up their game. I mean, that's kind of what this is. We don't have to overanalyze it too much, but Vivid Voltage is probably gonna be a cool set. I mean, a lot of the focus right now is on Champions Path, but I imagine we're going to get some amazing rares. Whether we get amazing rares in Champions Path or not, I think we still probably get some amazing rares in Vivid Voltage just because of the name. And then these extra collections for Christmas time. That's what this kind of adds up to for me. The set releases in November, so lots and lots of options for parents to give their kids for Christmas, which is pretty cool. One other thing that we wanted to go over here and talk about, let me make sure I can grab it. We have a potential leak. Real quick, we can also hit on this real quick. Sorry, I missed something along with the Vivid Voltage stuff. We have these Pikachu collections. Was this for the 25th anniversary? Or no, this is part of the release of September's upcoming set in Japan.
Yep.
So this is probably for something with Vivid Voltage. If I had to guess, you have all these Pikachu promo cards. There's the V and the V Max. So you can kind of see all these, just this set of Pikachus, which is kind of cool. If you're a Pikachu lover, congratulations. But we're going to scroll on up here to the surprised emojis from Mini Pokemart.
The accidental find, I believe it was in a Burning Shadows.
No, Darkness Ablaze pack.
Oh, okay. So Darkness Ablaze pack. Apparently someone had accidentally found, which wasn't on them, but they were going through a Darkness Ablaze pack and found this Chimchar with the what's supposed to be the 25th anniversary logo of Pikachu. And I believe if you kind of zoom in, or like if you've seen the logo before, the Pikachu logo is supposed to be what they're using now for their 25th logo,
right?
Their 25th anniversary logo. And then another clue is the symbol, obviously in the bottom left of the card is not the same symbol of Darkness Ablaze, and it's only 12 out of 25.
So that's some kind of a subset or a special set. And so it looks like this just straight up got leaked into on accident, like a printing error, got messed into a Darkness Ablaze pack. So 12 out of 25, you got a little promo set thing down here. So this is probably some kind of a, like I said, like a 25th anniversary thing. We said if you do the math, it looks
including Pikachu in this.
It's all the starters is what it probably looks up to, because they're including Pikachu. There are 25 total starters between all the games. So that could be a cool little 25th anniversary set. Starters are obviously near and dear to, I mean, they're the Pokemon that you get. They are the main preliminary focus on all the games other than like the box legendary. So the starters are obviously very important in just Pokemon all around. So that's pretty cool. Could get a massive, not massive, but 25 card promo set.
From what they've been saying is it's going to be like a McDonald's promo. And like on the Poke Beach thing, they kind of have all of them numbered to where Bulbasaur would be like 1 of 25, and it's all the grass Pokemon are 1 through whatever, and then it goes to your water, or your fire, and then water, and then Pikachu.
So with Chimchar, I don't have that one pulled up. With Chimchar line up to be 12. And that
so it's kind of cool, and to bring back like the McDonald's promos, or some kind of different promo. I think it'd be a really cool subset for people, especially collectors, to go out and try to get.
Yeah, I mean, promo sets are always cool as well. We've talked about promo sets a handful of times, so that'd be something cool. 25th anniversary, something to look forward to for all you starters lovers, and just, I mean, 25th anniversary stuff's kind of cool in general. Like 25 years of Pokemon, we've made it this long. This hobby is literally as strong as ever. Pokemon in general, cards, video games, Sword and Shield, I think is one of the best-selling games of all time at this point. Like it is thriving right now.
Yep. Not to mention, I think with their 25th anniversary, there's the announcement of possibly doing that. What was the mobile game that's coming out?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff is being hinted at or slightly announced for their 25th, because with their 20th one, they went big with Pokemon Go and a lot of stuff like that. So they've got to try to outdo themselves.
Yeah. So giant anniversary, super cool, very unusual that I mean, obviously it's an accident. They didn't purposely leak 25th anniversary. These, we would have seen more of them.
Was it?
I feel like we would have seen more of them if that was the case.
Maybe there's only one printed.
And that dude better be
one of
that
each one, and it's everywhere. We're just gonna start seeing random leaks,
right? So yeah, cool anniversary possible set. So let's get into kind of the meat of our discussion today, which is CGC. We were talking before this podcast. We were supposed to have a guest today. We had some just family things come up, so our guest will be with us later. So there will be a really cool guest coming up on the podcast soon, so be ready for that. But as we were prepping for the show, we were like, we were trying to think of topics, and something that's been just a big topic of debate in a lot of groups that I'm in is the legitimacy of CGC, the new grading company.
And I know in the Discord, I've been getting a lot of questions because I announced that I have a membership to start grading stuff through CGC. So a lot of guys in our Discord and our Facebook pages have been asking, questions about CGC. So it's kind of a good topic to start going over, to try to dive into it a little bit.
Yeah, so we have touched on this before, but if this is your first time on this podcast, you don't really know what CGC is. CGC is they're not a new grading company. So you have PSA and you have Beckett, the main two premier grading companies. That it's been that way forever. Both very respected, both add a ton of value to your cards. We've seen other companies like that GMA company and a couple others try to come in and got nowhere because they didn't offer anything. So here comes CGC. They have been around with coins and comic books for a long time.
Comic books.
I believe the owner of Meta TCG, who I am a partner with, I sold him some bulk today. I met with him, and he said when he used to be in coins that they graded coins, and it was kind of like if it wasn't graded by them, it might as well have not been graded at all. So they are reputable, but they've never been in the trading card industry until now. And they may have been planning to get into this space already, but part of me thinks that they saw an opening where PSA is struggling so hard. PSA is backed up beyond belief. I have cards that have been there since literally the beginning of March. We're going on 6 months. I haven't gotten they have like 100 of my cards captive right now, 150 or something of my personal, my favorite cards. They are struggling greatly getting things out. People are fed up and so sick of it. So people started turning to Beckett. The Beckett 10 and Black Label are typically worth more because they grade harder, but overall PSA I feel like is typically more desirable. If people started turning to Beckett because PSA was taking forever and Beckett had really good 2 and 5 day grading services, well then Beckett started getting backed up and run over with people, and Beckett was Beckett was like, we can't handle this right now because we're getting run over, and they're smart, they don't want to run into the same issues PSA is and everyone hate them. So they just said, we've got to jack up our prices. So they literally doubled the price of the quick turnaround. And they are still having some, but I know it's slowed it down significantly because they went from like $60 for a 2 day turnaround to $120 and from $50 to $110, I think. So literally doubled those prices. So now it's kind of like you have both grading companies either having to charge a ton to get them quick or just backed up, because I think Beckett's like 30 days, more like 45 right now. PSA's 45 is like
15 days different with Beckett. So if it's like you said, if it's about a 30 day, it's like 40, 45 days. PSA on the other hand,
45 means 6 months. 45 days means 6 months for PSA right now. It's stupid.
Yeah. I have submissions in there that I probably won't get until the end of this year.
Oh yeah, same here. It's insane. So enter CGC, who have very recently gone, and like literally we're talking in the last like month or so, came into the trading card industry from coins and comics, and they are pumping out cards in the 30-day window, in the time frame you pay for. They are pumping them out.
Yep. Sometimes even less.
Yeah.
I've seen people pay for the 30-day and they're getting back in 20-25 days.
Right.
Depending on the size of your submission.
Their grading standards seem to be more along that of Beckett than PSA. For those that don't know, Beckett typically grades way harder than PSA grades. Like, not even, no contest. Beckett grades so hard. So they tend to grade harder, is what we've seen. Like, you have to really work for that 10, whereas PSA, you can send a card that you're like, oh, this is a 9, and it comes back a 10 all the time. Very inconsistent grading with PSA. Even
I haven't seen a lot of 10 on CGC since it started coming into the card game. There hasn't been a lot.
Also, quick note, I mean, I don't want to chase down this rabbit hole, but it's always seemed ridiculous to me with how easy PSA hands out 10s.
Yes.
The fact that people don't lean more towards Beckett, like, I guess it adds more value, so you want the easy 10 a lot of times, but just how hard Beckett grades just to me makes that more desirable in my opinion, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But CGC seems to lean more on them. The problem is CGC is brand new.
Yep.
And they're completely unproven in the trading card industry.
They're a little expensive. They're a little on the expensive side. They're not terrible, but they have to start somewhere.
You're looking at like $20 for a card with subgrades, and you want subgrades. If you're submitting to a company that provides subgrades like Beckett or CGC, you need to pay the extra $5 for subgrades, or your card's not going to sell.
Last time we talked about this, I said the CGC's gonna need something to set them apart. I think I've found it. I don't know if I like it, and it's the fact that, like, so Beckett, when you get graded by Beckett, they automatically, in their price, they just include subgrades. This is why this card got this grade.
No, it's not, they don't actually. You do have to pay extra for that with Beckett.
You do have to pay extra?
Nobody grades with Beckett and doesn't get subgrades, but you do have to pay $5 extra.
Okay, so I did not know. So then yet I am corrected. I have yet to see anything I think stand out separately from CGC. I know you have to pay for their subgrades. Mm-hmm. I know they're pretty hard to get that 10. I'm one of those that I like the way that the card looks. It kind of grows on you.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, but here, let's show a couple. Here, let me jump over the market. I've got a bunch of eBay sold listings because we're going to talk about this a little bit.
It's just, I think, like you said, it's hard to bring a new card into the fold because when you think graded cards, you automatically in your head picture that PSA case.
Right.
And so now Beckett's starting to get up there.
This is a CGC Pristine 10 Ivysaur from base set, which is incredibly random, but it was on the eBay. So you kind of see they have rounded corners. Instead of like square like the PSA and Beckett, it's more rounded, which I actually kind of like. This label kind of looks like a Windows 95 PowerPoint logo to me a little bit. But it grows on you a little bit after time.
The longer you see it, it grows on you. But the thing is, I like it, but I'm also really, really, really big into comics. Mm-hmm. So I'm used to staring at a CGC grade, and just like you said with coins. I'm in a lot of the groups on Facebook that deal in like comic books, and a lot of people in comics will not buy a graded or a slabbed comic if it's not a CGC graded comic. And the crazy part is this: how particular they are. If you're trying to get a graded comic through CGC that's autographed, right? They will not authenticate it unless that person is there and signs it in front of somebody that's authenticated. Oh, wow. Or you have physical proof of somebody that you said signed this comic book is actually signing it. So they're very, very strict and particular on that stuff. And they're very, very well known in the comic book community. So I feel like if they do the right thing with the trading card stuff, I feel like it's going to go in the right direction. But like I said, it's one of those things you're kind of just going to have to maybe see where it goes. But I do agree with you. the logo and the label of the card kind of does look like a Windows 95.
Yeah. I've seen people say they love it, and I've seen people say they hate it. I hate it first. It's grown on me a little bit. The big debate has been, will they hold their value, and are people going to buy it? I've seen people asking, will you price a CGC 10 the same as you're going to price a PSA 10? And to which I've seen two answers. I've seen people say, I'm going to price it a little bit higher because they grade harder, kind of like Beckett. A Beckett 10 is typically worth, a Beckett Pristine 10 is typically worth more than a PSA 10 because it's harder to get. And Beckett's 9.5 is known for being the same as a PSA 10. So Beckett 10s and black labels are worth more than PSA 10s generally. I've seen it. That's typically considered correct. So I've seen people say, yeah, well, if it's like more towards Beckett, I'm going to price it higher. But then it's like, well, is anyone going to pay more for that? That's to be determined. And I think this company is very legit. I think they're good. What they are doing correct right now is they're getting the customer service is there. PSA's customer service is absolute garbage, is absolute trash. I know DFW Pokemon Scott, the owner of that, I was talking to him. Our cards have been in, from March, have been in quality QA1, quality assembly or whatever, the quality check, the first one. They have two of them. It's been that for 2 weeks, which is ridiculous. And he spent an hour on hold just trying to talk to a real person the other day before he gave up.
I feel like they're a company where their suggestion box is a box with the bottom cut out and the trash can is at the bottom.
Right.
That's what it feels like when you're trying to work with PSA customers.
They put out a post the other day on, and I don't want to turn this into just a PSA bashing thing, but they put out a post on Instagram and Facebook the other day saying they're hiring for like 20 positions, and they're like, we're trying to better serve you. And honestly, I think they're feeling the pressure from CGC. Because that is one thing CGC has done and already stolen a little bit of their business, is they have come out and they provide kick butt customer service, and they've been getting people their cards in the exact time or sooner than they did. So if CGC plays their cards right and markets well, they may be able to get a piece of this market and people actually trusting them.
And the thing is they're not new to this. They have had, like I said, coins and comic books, and don't think the comic book world is not as big as like the trading card.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
It's just big, if not bigger.
They're the same. They have turnaround dates for comic books. You send it in and they are back on the dot, if not earlier. So they're used to the pressure. They're used to people sending them bulk of everything. And honestly, I think comic books are harder to go through because they're not just looking at the covers. They're going through pages and grading a ton of stuff. So I think, like you said, if CGC plays their cards right, markets well, does what they're doing, they might sneak up in there and be a competitor with PSA and Beckett.
If they can keep getting people their cards quickly, which is what is infuriating people, more so with PSA than Beckett, but Beckett's getting there. Like, and the prices of Beckett are a little bit more. I personally consider kind of Beckett the creme de la creme, because the sports world they own pretty well too. But if they can get their turnaround times and keep providing the service, and people are so fed up with waiting for their stuff, you're going to start seeing people buy these. And if more and more and more of them get into the market and you start seeing people buying them, then voila, you have a company that is officially entered and is a serious competitor.
And I think the reason, because you touched on it earlier when you brought up the Pristine 10 Ivysaur, you said it was random. I think once CGC started coming on the scene, people were kind of just testing the waters,
like sending just bulk type cards.
Yes, like here's some cards, like, it's an Ivysaur, it's got some popularity because of Bulbasaur and stuff. So like, they're not like bad cards, but they were just kind of maybe testing it to see what they were about.
We don't want to send you our Charizards and our Lugias and Mewtwo's and stuff right off the bat.
So I would say err on the side of caution when pricing and posting these, but I would say it's 50-50. Yes, you got to look at it. They're like Beckett, you have subgrades. I feel like that adds to the value of the card,
absolutely,
subgrades. But do you put a Pristine 10 CGC card priced as the same as a gold label 10 Beckett at this point? Maybe not. The thing is CGC doesn't have something like a black label or anything that sets
Right.
it apart. But I would say honestly, if you're gonna price it, just test the market. I would price it kind of close to the same because it pretty much is going to get there, if not at least close to it. So
Yeah, I'm going to pull up. Like I said, I was looking at CGC sold listings a little bit before we started this. There were. Here, I'm gonna just type in Charizard CGC.
what's crazy is what's going to get us there is people like us and other people that are going to be willing to take that first step and be like, you know
Right.
what, let's start selling these cards and sending in these cards to get this company where it needs to be.
Let's start here. This person either got it early or paid for really fast. This is a 9.5 English Charizard VMAX. So literally the most recent chase card we have. It graded 9.5. It sold. This is a sold listing for $389. I mean, that's about what I would expect a PSA to be at, honestly. A PSA 10 maybe even right now. I don't think that card's going more than that for a PSA 10 yet. If it is, that's ridiculous. I haven't looked. There's no way PSA has 10s back in that card yet.
No,
I'm not even gonna bother looking. Here we have a CGC 9 mint Shining Charizard unlimited, not first edition, sold for 1,050. It only had 2 bids. So again, like, I don't know, like this one was 2 bids on this Japanese Charizard. This was a buy it now. 3 bids on this Japanese VMAX Charizard. So I don't know, people were very clearly erring on the side of caution. This one sold for 400, but that's what I would expect a PSA 10 to go for. So it is, I don't know, it's very up in the air right now.
But the crazy thing is, if you look back at some of our past episodes when we first talked about it, when Hav was on the episode,
right,
it wasn't really a thing, and here we are, what, 2-3 weeks later,
it's starting to pick up steam a little bit.
It's way more than what it was when we talked about it then, and I feel like the more people test it and the more people start to do it. I know as a middleman for grading, I do PSA, and now CGC is one of my offers that I'm doing. I've had a lot of people reach out wanting to do CGC, and they're dead set on saying, hey, I want to get on the ground floor right now. Why turnaround times are quick, prices are where they're at.
Right.
I'm okay with that, because if this thing does take off and you're one of those people that has,
then you have them already,
some of the big cards back already, you're like, look, here it is, and it may pick up steam, and then you may be sitting on a gold mine. You may, it's a good thing, and it's also, it could be not a good thing. It just depends on where the market goes.
I know I've definitely been kind of erring on the side of caution with it, but I think you can trust them. I think I'm not fully endorsing that 100% just yet, but it's looking like it's picking up steam. I think you are perfectly safe. Like, maybe don't send your first edition Charizard, or don't send your Shining Charizard, or even your Hidden Fates Charizard. Maybe don't do that.
Maybe send all the Cinescorch Vs, because I've pulled like 50 of them from Darkness Ablaze.
Right. And just see what happens. Like I said, wait it out. Like I said, I wouldn't send your most valuable stuff yet, but I think it does have a legit chance to be a real threat in this space. And we may be seeing the rise of another company finally. And quite honestly, I'm pretty invested in PSA, but I am getting sick of their crap too, for lack of a better way to put it. It's getting kind of ridiculous, and I don't see the end of the tunnel with it, with their wait times, and they're still wildly inconsistent with their grading. I personally prefer Beckett, but that's wildly expensive for quicker turnaround. So, and plus, so I mean, if you want that 10, I mean, maybe still PSA is obviously the easier 10, but I mean, it's very much kind of up in the air, but we may have a legit threat.
And that's the crazy thing. It will become a threat if we help, if we put in the effort and start sending stuff and getting their name out there and doing it. It's probably going to keep going up. So only if you want it, I'm going to say I agree with you. If it's something you feel like doing and you want to do it and you have the cards that you want to send to them, go for it. It's not going to hurt you at this moment. It's only good so far. There's nothing bad that's come out of it yet. So
yeah. So that's pretty much our spill on CGC. Like I said, still err with caution, but we did want to talk about this. There's been a big topic of discussion kind of within the community the last week because they are picking up steam. You're getting more people are getting their first round of big submissions back from them after the first 1 or 2 months. So it is very much a topic of debate and everything. So we wanted to talk about it here with you today. So yeah, that's pretty much our episode today. Did you have anything else you wanted to add in on this at all?
To kind of beat a dead horse with CGC, if you're interested in grading through CGC or PSA, hit me up on the Instagram or the Discord that's linked below, and I will definitely be able to help you out in any of those services.
Awesome. Hit the Bearded Trainer up. Join the TCG Army Discord. The link is always in the description below. You can find us both there, talk with us, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for checking out the Gold Star Podcast. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any more episodes. That's going up every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Central Time. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. It really has been awesome lately with this. Peace. Go open some more Darkness Ablaze, and we will catch you guys on the next episode. Later.
See ya.